It's your girl, Edgy Sankofa. I said I would come back and I would make a little video talking about stimming. So, if you don't know what stimming is, just get back, relax, get yourself a cup of tea, and I'm gonna talk about stimming real quick. So stimming essentially is like any kind of behavior that consists of repetitive motions or actions or movements of a type that can be displayed by people that have different developmental disorders, conditions, or sometimes you'll see this with people with autism, ASD, autism spectrum disorder, yada, yada, yada. So for me, stimming is a lot of things. Stimming is like short for like self-stimulation. So like if you find that you're tapping a lot or you're like doing this, like that's the type of stimming. Like I always have mechanical pencils and I only ever have the Papermate Sharpwriter number 2. These are the only pencils I use. I do not use other pencils. I cannot use bootleg versions of these. I cannot use colored versions of these. It has to be this one. This is the only pencil, and I'm very particular about my writing instruments when I'm working. So stimming for me could also look like this. Like this is me stimming. And I never realized what stimming really was, but like this is an example of stimming. Like I always have these pencils nearby, like boom, boom, boom. I was actually talking to one of my unicorns, like my fellow unicorns, like I don't know, last week maybe, who's also in the PhD experience, because it is an experience, okay? And I was like mentioning like, oh my gosh, I have my tweezers with me. This is another form of my stimming. I always have to have my tweezers with me in case I need to just pick at something. So it's not the prettiest, it's not the most cute, so don't get at me, but it's part of my experience. And like stimming for me, I always have to have my tweezers. I'm always like pulling, picking at my fingernails, just like literally I could pick up my fingernails for hours and it will keep me at my computer, at my document. Yeah, unfortunately it's not really good for having a manicure, but it's part of how I stim. Another thing I stim with is my hot sauce. I'll be like playing with the hot sauce bottle, like twisting, untwisting, twisting, untwisting, twisting, untwisting, twisting, untwisting, twisting, untwisting, like forever. And if I'm listening to something that has a good beat, I'm usually tapping my leg back and forth, rocking it, using this like to the beat in the air. Like if I had drums right here, this would be my drumsticks. But you'll see me doing something like that. I have to have something in my hands at all times. Any other way I stim with music. I would listen to the same song for like 6 hours. One song that always works for me when I'm stimming is Coffee. I'm sorry, it's Toast by Coffee. Not Coffee by Toast, but Toast by Coffee. Yes. That song, for some reason, like melodically, it like does the thing for me in here. So I could just play that song on loop for like 6 hours straight and be like in a zone and never really hear when the song stops or when it ends. It's just like in a constant loop. So that's part of my stimming. Part of my stimming that I realized that I didn't know was stimming, for me at least, is when I like have to have crunchy items to eat and snack on. So that's like usually some kind of potato chips. Like, excuse me, hiccups, not part of the stimming plan. But I gotta have potato chips of any kind that I like. And it has to be the right flavor, the right crunch, the right texture. Not all potato chips are made equal, that is for sure. But I like to have like chips and like I can just be like crunching, snacking. Or have like crunchy things like sliced carrots, or I'll have like some cucumber sliced up, or have some apple sliced. But things that I can crunch and like hear and have the texture and feel it, that for me is part of my stimming plan. But yeah, like stimming shows up for me in a number of ways. Whether, you don't have to have ASD or be diagnosed with ASD to stim, though of course it is also related to people that are living with and experiencing ASD, autism spectrum disorder. And for me as an ADHDer, Like, stimming gets me through the days. It just gets me through the days. So, yeah, a lot of people do that. You bite your nails, you twirl your hair around. That's something I do a lot. But stimming is usually harmless. Like I said, the most harmful one that I do is I'm constantly picking at my face with my tweezers. So, like, my skin has, like, dark mark because I'm always picking at it. It's just part of a habit. Like, I can't stop it. So I just cover it up with makeup, go to the dermatologist, get some cream to put on it. But yeah, that's how I be stimming. That's how I stim, girl. Yeah, so let me know how you stim. Are you in the ND family? Are you in the neurodivergent family like I am? How do you stim? There's so many ways to stim. And yeah, I don't have a diagnosis for ASD, but considering the comorbidities that exist within the neurodivergent family, I would not be surprised if I actually do and have had ASD my entire life. But time will tell. Money, information, time, access to testing is a whole nother story, which I'm not going to get into right now. But yeah, that's what it's like. That's what stimming is like for this neurodivergent doctoral candidate, soon to be PhD. Yeah, you can totally be neurodivergent and the yada 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 and have I just did a stim yada yada yada, like I do that all the time. It would be like a PhD. Like, mad PhDs have ND conditions and don't know or don't talk about it, and that's okay. Everybody got to do what's right for them, but for me and over here, it's not anything I'm ashamed of, and my dissertation work has a lot to do with being ND and being Black and being a graduate genius, by the way. So that's all I was came in to say. I'm going to go back to work. I get back to writing and revising or whatever the heck I'm doing. Deuces.